Right about the time that school gets out, it feels like kids are done learning for the summer. They don't even want to think about math until August. But of course, that can lead to something that some of us call the summer slide. Here today to talk about some fun ideas to keep your kids still learning during the summer. We have one of our favorite local elementary school teachers and mom, Jennifer Norton. Jennifer, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Before we start talking about the summer slide, this is the last week of school for West Fargo and a lot of other schools. I'm getting a little emotional, although I've complained a lot about teaching from home. That last day of school hug from your teacher, you guys aren't going to get that this year.
We're not. And so I'm just, it's one of those things where I'm a little sad. We don't have that. My younger two, they had like a parade, and we just can't do that right now with social distancing with our district. And so it's one of those things that you got to make it personal, or make it the best that you can for the situation you're in. I am like, I'm gonna go and deliver bags at each one of my kids' houses. Just because, there's that little something that I still feel like I want to give them.
Yeah.
So
you need that closure. It's been a weird school year, but they are still so connected to their teachers and the kids and the parents. We love our teachers. So I just feel like I think it's going to be emotional for kids and for teachers this week. I can see that.
Yes.
Okay, but we wanted to get some great advice from you today, because I don't want to let's not get too emotional, not yet, because we got a couple days. You'll make me cry. The summer slide, that's a real thing, especially if kids have been, kind of not working as hard as they normally would be since they're learning from home. How do you describe the summer slide?
So, kids usually, what they end up doing is they, for 3 months, they stop doing what they're, they have summer. And so they don't always do the strict academic plan. Well, since we've been doing distance learning already, and we've already had 2 to 2.5 months of this, not this kind of slide already. Biggest thing that I want parents to know is that teaching doesn't have to be that formal teaching. It doesn't have to be creating life experiences for students. That's the most important piece. So for example, if you guys are going on a trip, say sometimes this summer, I don't know, some of those trips are canceled because of COVID too, but I know a lot of people have started camping. So what you can do is you can help them plan, help them. That's a life skill. Help them do, pitch the tent, have them go along with you. Like I actually just recently heard of a story from my cousin who she would have never made cookies with her kids or done any baking with her kids. And she started doing that because we're stuck at home, and what else do you do? And so those life experiences are the things that kids really do need this summer. For example, again, maybe for reading, read with your kids. I'm talking even high school, middle school. See what book they're going to read and read it with them. That's so important for students. And then you can ask them questions about the book. And most importantly, ask them how it's making them feel. Those characters in the book, how can you relate to those characters? And that's what's important about just learning through experiences. I know I've taken my kids to the zoo to learn about animals. My son, Brecken, loves the zoo, loves the animals. He asks me all the time if we can go learn more animals. We read books on animals. Animals are like his thing. And so take that and have them create a photo book of animals and then have some facts down. I mean, make it so that it's fun, that you're really, doing that experience with them and making it real.
I
Do
love
those
that.
real life things.
I feel like we're going to come out of this as adults saying, thank goodness that's behind us. And our kids are going to say, wasn't that fun? We did some really cool things with our parents.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Don't be so hard on yourself as a parent. It seems like you're kind of saying, make learning lessons out of the things you're already going to do.
Yep. Yep. Just make it a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like if you are baking, talk about the fraction pieces of it. If you are going for a bike ride, talk about that. I recently heard a student, second grade student, who rode along in the tractor with his dad and then was able to they ended up being on Teams, a meeting, and he was able to do kind of like a virtual field trip and talk about the tractor with his class. Those things are what's so important for kids.
I love that. Do you think some of the same technology hopefully we'll have access to as well? You just mentioned, Zoom meetings. We won't have Zoom, classroom meetings anymore, but there's been some great Epic, iRead, a lot of different tools that I have just been exposed to that I would hope we could still use in the summer.
Yes. I know for West Fargo anyways, there's still going to be access to some of those online resources and tools for the students. So that definitely use that throughout the summer. Create a checklist, a to-do list for your kids and have on there, before you do this, you have 30 minutes, make sure you read for 30 minutes or make sure you do this app or whatever, just to give them a little bit of that push, but yet, and that's what I do with my kids. We do a checklist because we can't do times and schedules because that just, you never know when I have a meeting or I'm doing this or doing that. And so for us, we do a checklist.
I love that. A checklist. Life gets in the way sometimes, but you can check off that list anytime during the day. Thank you so much again for joining us. Happy last week. Oh, sure.
Sorry. I want everybody to know, as far as education goes, I am so thankful that we are behind the educators, our education leadership, our teachers, our principals. You guys, we have done a great job doing what we didn't know what we were supposed to do. And as far as parents go, you guys are rocking it. I know it can feel hard having those kids at home all day. I know that it can be exhausting, but just know that you aren't alone. There are other parents who are feeling the same, and that, do the best that you can, and the best that you can is totally worth it. And students, keep rocking it. We got one more week, and then you have some summer, and just be outside, have fun.
Just be outside, have fun, be a kid. Great advice. I second that. Everyone's really done a great job, and we appreciate our teachers even more now. Thank you so much. Have a great last week of school.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here on North Dakota Today.